What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Zeno Trades. Today is Sunday, the 5th, and we are doing a little market projection. Right now, I'm on Forex Factory, and we're going to check the news for the rest of the week, basically. And so, as you can see, we first start out with FOMC. Whew. But it's member cook, so it's a yellow folder, so it might not be too much, but that still means there's gonna be volatility in the market, right? So Monday we might have a good trade opportunity come Monday. Well, come tomorrow, right? The 7th at 10 a.m. we have two red folders. Job openings and PMI. Okay. Ooh, Wednesday we have three red folders. Interesting. Okay, we'll take that into consideration. A bunch of yellow folders on Thursday, and Friday three red folders all at 8:30 as well. That's gonna be a lot of volatility. And there's my pen. Let me write this down real quick because this is the right notebook too. Wrong. All right. Okay, market projection. All right. Okay, so we'll go back one more day. So the 6th day, yellow, and orange. Okay. Tuesday we have two red Qs, two red at 10. Pardon me while I take these real quick. We have two red at 8, 8:15. So that might mess up the trades for them days. Waller speaks, and then another one at 2, which will be out of trade by 2. Thursday, yellow. It's a yellow day. Volatility might be good. And then 3 on Friday. 3 red at 8:30. Okay. Now with that information, we'll go over here to trading view, right? Boom. This means I'm looking at gold on the 15-minute. Right now, this is just what it's looking like right now. Which this is from last week. All this from last week. Which as you can see, a trade played out. That trade right there. And I don't know if I'm into a trade. No, I did not. Okay. So reset chart view. Remove 13 drawings, right? Okay. So now we'll go up to the daily time frame. And let me remove this real quick just to log out of paper trading. Cool. So as we can see right here, significant highs, significant lows, right? Where do we see these? Which I'm not even gonna bother actually marking them as far as with that's the high, that's the low. It's high, low, which this low seems to have touched right here as well. That's a higher high right there, and we also have these relatively even highs right here. All right, boom. What does that tell us? Well, we can tell that on. Let's see where that lines up. Okay, so we can see that one, we have these two right here, right? These two relatively even highs. And what that's going to tell us is that this is a good resistance point. Resistance as in the price will come up to this point and sell off of it. Why is it the case? Honestly, I can't tell you. But you can also, you have verification like right here in this line, well, this level right here. And I'm sure if we go back even further, which honestly we've just been in a crazy uptrend recently. So, I mean, if we went back far enough, when price did come back up to this, well, when price was previously at this point, right? But anyway, boom, we have this low, right here, which it doesn't seem to have tapped yet. So that's telling us really there's two ways this will play out. And speaking as this right here is a level of consolidation from this candle week to down here. Yeah, like really, and we can pull this back as well. You see, all this is just consolidation, right? Consolidation. This is zone of consolidation. If it breaks below here, it'll end up going down lower, and that if it doesn't reject off of this zone right here, then it'll come down to this zone and then push back up, like correcting itself, right? Theoretically, we don't know what the market's gonna do. Can't predict it at all. You can come back a little further, and just like some extra confirmation. It's also consolidation point down here too. So with that in mind, the liquidity would be in this zone up here, honestly. And this is if it's selling liquidity, right? If you want to sell, you look for this zone. If you wanted to buy, you look for, honestly, this zone, and you'd buy up off of that. You buy off here, you'd sell off of here. Same thing for up here. You most likely would sell if it didn't break through, right? But with that in mind, with all that in mind, we can go into the 4 hour. We just work your way down the time frames, and we find ourselves with what exactly? Okay, 4 hour. Boom. Let me see just what I'm looking at real quick. Reset chart again. Okay. It's consolidation. Boom. Okay. What's this down here? Okay, like I was saying, you buy up off of this zone. This consolidation is sold off here, bought back up, sold, bought up, sold, bought back up. So yeah, this is a prime little area of, I'd say, buy side liquidity. Alright, you can see on the 4 hours, it looks like it might push back up. We do have another consolidation zone right here. It's just outside of consolidation, right? Which, if it came down to this level, it most likely would. Actually, this level right here is just, it's been rated. There's no liquidity there, so most likely would either continue going down or come back up. Like, that's the thing with the market recaps. Well, not even market recaps, the market forecast, because it's really like, you don't want to confuse yourself by looking too deep into it, but you also want to prepare yourself in a sense, because the markets, they're gonna do what they want, whenever they want, however they want, and you can try to predict them, but there's really no predicting it without enough information. Yeah, it just looks like we've been consolidating in here, at least for the past few days, which I think I caught some of these moves to the top. Right, this uptrend seems to have been broken, but until we get a lower high, the trend is still good, right? And that's the overall trend. Yeah, it came down, so I mean, technically we did have a lower high. So if this continues going down, then it might come down to here, to this zone, and then buy back up. And the only reason I say that is because all this space down here before it would actually have enough liquidity to actually continue going down, right? Like, it's already gonna take a good little bit to come down this way, let alone all the way down. And if it comes down this low, which it just wouldn't make any sense for it to come down that low, no reason for it to sell off like that, because like unless somebody said something crazy like they did, what I think it was Powell who said something, no, like the last meeting of last Fed meeting of press conference Fed meeting, same thing, of 24, and how like gold dropped like 5%. It was freaking crazy, but I blew my account doing like trying to trade that too. I took a false call the night before. Never again will I take other people's calls. They just don't work for me. Besides the point. And then right here you can see bought up, sold, bought back up. So this zone right here might be a good zone to buy from. And only like I know it looks like I'm just marking up, but this is just a whole bunch of like this is just a rough graph. Don't quote me on none of this. I wouldn't trade like this. I don't trade like this. It's not like I'm looking for a setup. I'm just trying to get a good prediction of the market. Trying to understand where the market might go within this next week. Like, that's how I don't understand how people swing trade. Cause how are you that sure? Like, sure, yeah, you can look at it from the weekly chart, and like you can see all this good stuff. Like these wicks. When it comes to that, I most likely cut the wicks off too. It's, like, what is this telling you? What? I don't understand how someone could read that, let alone decipher what it's going to like decipher how you gonna trade that week. I don't know. I just prefer the smaller time frame to the daily, the daily bias, and then move down. But down to the 1 hour, I think that's where we're going. Boom, boom, boom. Nah, I don't need to zone in, zoom in too much because I'm not taking no trades. But you see, it sold up and it had corrected itself, which I'm pretty sure that was the trade for yesterday, which makes sense because I took that Thursday trade, and Friday I didn't end up taking the trade because I was thinking it was going to continue that bearish momentum or bullish momentum, but it turned bearish. So we might be at the beginning of a sell-off point, or it might just be a little correction within the market, and that little correction might make or break gold, right? Yes. But as far as my prediction, I believe if we don't have the retracement this week, it'll probably be next week just to come back down to these levels right here, because the only other levels are like only other levels will be right here, which are the highs, and then I guess you could say this one right here. I guess you could say this level right here. See, that's equal highs right there anyway. So boom, you have lows. Like the more liquidity is towards the bottom, and I can sit here marking lines up, but alright, a low. What happens after this low? It sold back up and it sold, like it bought back up and it sold off, and that was over the course of a day. Now, do we have any other equal lows? Like this right here, equal low, 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 another low. Like there's so much to go off of. If anything, you want my honest projection. I'm saying since we're already in like a bullish trend, right? We sold off that last day. Sold off at least half of the work we put in, right? Sold off to here. There's no real way. I don't believe we're going to continue to sell. Honestly, I think we're going to push back up because next little grab of liquidity is right here, which ain't too far. Now, yeah, it can reverse and go back down, but chances of that are most likely unlikely. And then once it gets to that point, it's kind of just zone liquidity up here until it takes out the liquidity all the way at the top, and then starts creating higher highs and higher lows. Right, but that's my view of the market. I believe we're going up, and with that being said, I'll conclude this video at 16 minutes and 10 seconds. I hope you enjoy it. You might have learned something. I know I was kind of all over the place today, but you know, I'm trying to get the video in, trying to go ahead and get my setup for tomorrow, and but I'll catch y'all tomorrow, most likely with the trade recap after the trade tomorrow, because I won't trade I don't do live trading yet because I just can't. But once I start making a living off this, then I'll be able to have my setup. All right, y'all. I'll be on at. I'll start my live at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. That way y'all can join me, and I'll give y'all my little calls ahead of time and whatever the case may be. But that's just like that's in the future. That's in the future, and that's not current. I still have to work, so I'm not gonna be able to trade with y'all. But I can give y'all the recaps, and I can attempt like weekly predictions or weekly projections, because I know the basics of trading. I know how to read market structure, and I know what. Honestly, I know how to trade my strategy, and I'm sure somebody else probably has a different look on it, but everybody sees the chart differently. With that though, tell somebody you love them. Let somebody know let somebody know you appreciate them. Let somebody know you care for them, and most importantly, let somebody know you're proud of them. Not a lot of people here. You could be somebody to change the way somebody's day is going, but hold it down. Don't go nowhere. Stay on them charts. Make bank. You feel me? And I'll see y'all tomorrow with, excuse me, Monday's trade recap. Until then, y'all take care. Ka-ching.